What's going on, my friends? Welcome to my first video of 2023 here on the RAFscents YouTube channel. I'm so happy to have you guys with me. Have you guys got your New Year's resolution in place? You know, maybe you're going to start a new hobby. Maybe you're going to do something like myself and try to commit to losing some weight, eat a little bit healthier. Maybe you're going to kick a habit like smoking or drinking or whatever. January is always a time to go over these things. And I'm going to kind of hit on that same theme for this video. We're going to talk about starting a new fragrance collection. I get asked about this a lot. What do you need to start a new fragrance collection? What fragrances should you select? So for this video, we're going to go over 5 groups of 3 fragrances. That's 15 fragrances in total. These are going to be cost effective. They are going to pull tons of compliments, and each one of the fragrances in the collections are going to cover a number of different seasons or occasions. This is going to be really good, and you're going to really enjoy it. So let's do it. Now, before I get started, let me say that when I talk about cost effective, what I mean is that the fragrances in each group are going to total less than $125, which is a decent amount for starting a fragrance collection. Also, the prices that I give you are not going to include things like shipping, so be sure to take that into account. So starting off, I figured I would kick on the fragrances that I started my collection with. They are 3 really good fragrances and easy to like, and I still love them to this day, okay? The first one is going to be what I think every new collection should have, and that is Nautica Voyage. This is a $20 fragrance that you can find pretty much anywhere, and it covers the season of summertime. It lasts 8 hours. Some people say that it smells kind of generic. I would kind of agree with them, but that's okay. Synthetic can actually kind of be its own note, but some of the main notes that you're going to find in here are apple, green leaves, some cedar, and some oak moss. And when you combine them together, you get a fragrance that smells like the ocean. It lasts about 6 to 7 hours, and you can't go wrong with it. Now, for the fall and winter time, and even for the evening side, we're going to go with Azzaro Wanted by Night. This is about a $50 fragrance. And it is incredibly awesome. It is still one of my favorite fragrances and still my favorite from the Azzaro Wanted line. This has notes of mandarin orange, some cinnamon, tobacco, and vanilla. And so it kind of gives you a little bit of an edgy feel, but I think this is a great fragrance, and I definitely recommend this as a first fragrance for evening time for someone starting off their fragrance. Now, the last one that I'm going to do in this group, for me, it was Prada Luna Rosa Carbon. However, I'm not going to include this one officially in this group because for the last couple of months, I've not been able to find this anywhere for discounters. I've only been able to find this retail at about $100. So instead of this one, I'm not even going to include a link in the description. So instead of this one, I'm actually going to talk about Salvatore Ferragamo F Black. You've seen this on a couple of my previous videos. This one is very close to Prada Luna Rosa Carbon. It's got lavender, big time on the lavender, apple, black pepper, and tonka bean in here. Kind of also a little bit of an ambroxan feel, but ambroxan's not one of the main notes in there. Now, where you're going to find the differences between this and Prada Luna Rosa Carbon is that this is a little more powdery, not quite as spicy as the Carbon. It's a very professional scent, office safe, good for formal occasions, and it only costs about $25. In total, after I totaled everything up through my various websites that I looked at before I started this video, these 3 fragrances can be purchased for a total of $100. That's not including shipping, but $100. That's awesome. Next is our second group of 3 fragrances, and this first one is a great casual fragrance that can be used day, night, can be used anytime during the year, and it will pull tons of compliments. This is Halloween Man Rock On. So many people focus on the Halloween Man X, that really good romantic gourmand. that they forget that this one exists, but this one is incredibly awesome and even cheaper. I say cheaper, less expensive than the Halloween Man X. So you're automatically hit with some lemon and apple on the top when you spray this on, and then it's going to be followed by some of the base notes of amber and sandalwood. It's very crisp, very clean, and I think whenever I spray it on, it feels more like it's made for athletes and guys that work hard, sweat a lot, or in the gym, whatever it is. But it's only about $25. It gets about 6 to 7 hours of longevity and pulls tons of compliments. The second one is going to be a great night out fragrance, and it's going to be one that builds tons of confidence when you wear it. It kind of gives you that I'm better than everybody else type vibe. This is, where's the front? There it is. This is Banana Republic Black Walnut Legend. It is a clone of Creed Aventus, and it does pretty well in my opinion. It's got bergamot, kumquat, incense, and leather in it, amongst some other notes. Now, I generally say wait till you find this at a rack store rather than shopping online. You know, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Ross, you'll find it for anywhere between $20 and $25 there. Now, I am including a link down below that will get this for $30. Still not a bad price, but you gotta wait for the shipping and all of that stuff. So it can be kind of difficult to find in the rack stores, as they never keep up like a regular stock of certain fragrances. But the biggest gripe from some people is that this one doesn't quite last as long as they would like. It's about 5 hours, but you know, for the price, that's okay for me. Also, I think this is a little bit of a sweeter type of spin on Aventus rather than actual Aventus. You get less woody notes and you get more of the citrus. Okay, so Black Walnut Legend, check that one out. And then finally is going to be your fall and winter fragrance. It is Hugo Boss The Scent Intense. And this one right here, I love. I've been turning a lot of people onto this one, and this one's about $50. It's got leather, vanilla, cardamom, and some woody notes. And when you take all of these together and total them up, all of these equal $110 before shipping. And this fragrance right here, it gets about 6 hours as well, but it is a big time compliment puller. There you go, Hugo Boss The Scent Intense, $110, can't go wrong. Moving right along to fragrance group number 3, and this first one I'm going to introduce is basically built for compliments. I get tons of people all the time that reach out to me and tell me that they have just started a fragrance collection and this one is in their collection, and people do not stop complimenting them. It is a blue fragrance from the house of Versace. This is Versace Dylan Blue. It can be worn year-round, day or night, and the scent profile is pretty on point. We're talking bergamot, grapefruit, incense, tonka bean, and ambroxan. Now, I myself, I don't reach for this one quite as much as some of my other blue fragrances. I do still wear it from time to time, but not quite as much as something like YSL Y Eau de Parfum. But this 50 milliliter bottle is around $43. Not too bad, and like I said, you're going to be very well liked when you wear this fragrance. It gets about 6 to 7 hours, and it's got massive projection. I would only go about 3 sprays with this one, but Versace Dylan Blue is a great one. Second is going to be a fall wintertime fragrance that I think works really well for dates, and this is from a house called RAFscents. A lot of people associate this with cologne fragrances, but this one right here I almost think stands on its own. This is Versace Direge. A really purple fragrance, but don't let the color of the juice fool you. It smells good and the performance is massive. We're talking, it's got cardamom, vanilla, tonka bean, amber, and sandalwood in here. It's pretty evident when you spray it on that there's a lot of cardamom, okay? I'll be honest with you, but if you guys like the YSL La Nuit de l'Homme, you'll appreciate this one. It's a little bit sweeter, but let me tell you, this one lasts about 10 hours, so you better be ready to commit when you spray this fragrance on, and it only costs about $25. You can shop on Amazon, you can shop on fragrancebuy.ca. This one's not hard to locate at all, so definitely check that one out. And then this last one is going to be a crisp summer fragrance. It is actually another cologne house from Armaf. Armaf is the name of the cologne house. It is the Club de Nuit Milestone. This is the classic clone of Creed's Millésime Impérial. Man, this one right here, it packs a punch when you first spray it on. C notes, some fruit, some bergamot, sandalwood, and vetiver. Yeah, I'm reading a little bit because this is a lot to memorize for a video. But basically, when I spray it on, it smells a little bit like salty watermelon. Okay, it is really, really good, and it cuts through the heat very well. Now, the gripe about this one is the longevity, the performance. It lasts about 5 hours, but so does the Millésime Impérial from Creed. So $3.50 to $35 for this one. It's a no-brainer. I would definitely go for this one. Like I said, daytime, spring or summer, you will stand out from the crowd with this one. In terms of how close it is to Creed's Millésime Impérial, by the way, it's about 70%, 75%. It's not a spot-on rendition of the original fragrance like the Sillage from Club de Nuit is. Club de Nuit Sillage, it is 100% accurate with Creed's Silver Mountain Water, in my opinion. But totaling everything up, all three of these fragrances come out to $98, less than $100. I probably should have said something like less than $110 when I started this video off, but $98, three great fragrances. Three great fragrances. I need to enunciate. Here we go with fragrance group number 4, and this one actually gets closer to that $125 mark that I said at the beginning of the video. Each one of these fragrances averages out to $40 each. Some of them are like, one's like $39, one's like $41, so on. So I averaged them out, and we're looking at about $120 for all three of these fragrances. But when you're starting a collection, that's still a really good price. This first one is a great easy reach fragrance. Some people call it a blue fragrance. I think it's a little bit too spicy to be considered blue. It's it's got a little bit more edge to it, but it's still a great fragrance, and it's actually the first time I've talked about this fragrance on this channel. From the house of Jimmy Choo, this is Jimmy Choo Man Intense, and it's got some notes of melon, lavender, tonka bean, pepper, and patchouli. Now, it's pretty easy to find this one. I actually found this at a rack store for $45. I think it was Ross, maybe? I think it was Ross that I found this, and I'm not complaining. And it has, man, a great atomizer, a great smell. Now, the big gripe that people have about this one is the longevity. It doesn't last very long. I'm talking about 5, maybe 5.5 hours. And for a $40 fragrance, it's pushing it a little bit, okay? But still, I really do appreciate the way that this fragrance smells, and I do get some compliments whenever I wear this. So anytime during the year, day or night, this is going to be your easy reach fragrance for your new collection. The second one is going to be a fall and wintertime fragrance, maybe early spring, and it's definitely going to be an edgy fragrance based on its scent profile. This is Bentley for Men Intense with rum, cinnamon, some woody notes, leather, and incense. Now, online, I found this at about $40. I think it's actually about $37, $38. But you can sometimes find this in rack stores for about $25, $35. It is a great fragrance. It lasts about 7 hours at its price. And some people even think that this smells a bit niche. I myself, I don't really think that. The atomizer isn't the best in my opinion. I do think that the bottle is a little bit cheap. It's got this like weird aluminum cap to it, but as we always say, it's what's inside the bottle that counts, and this one is really good. I do wear this one quite often. And then finally, we've got our warmer weather daytime fragrance from Hugo Boss. This is Hugo Boss Hugo Boss Bottled Unlimited. I always get hung up on the scent. But I'm telling you what, this one is really good for the summer months. It's got some great notes that cut through the heat. And if you're in high school, middle school, this is a great everyday wear for you guys to wear to class. It's got mint, grapefruit, violet leaf, pineapple, and musk. It lasts about 6 to 7 hours, and once again, $40. This is also a pretty common fragrance. All of these are, to be honest with you. All of these are pretty common fragrances that you can find in a number of different stores. So keep your eyes open for this one. It's definitely worth having in your collection. This is such a long video. Here we go with the last group of fragrances, and this first one of all places, you can find at Walmart. You would never think that something this good would come from Walmart, but it gets covered a lot on TikTok. There's a lot of hype surrounding it, and I push it myself. I can't help it. For $22, $23, you can't go wrong. This is from Primo. It is spice and black vanilla. It is basically a great alternative to Victor & Rolf Spice Bomb Extreme. It's got that vanilla, it's got some of those spices, as you can tell in the notes, but it's also got some really nice smooth tobacco in there as well. And like I said, $23. Now where it lacks is in the performance. It doesn't project quite as well, and it doesn't last as long. With this one, you've got moderate projection. With the Victor & Rolf Spice Bomb Extreme, you can smell it 3 states over. This one lasts about 6 hours, and the Victor & Rolf lasts about 37 years. But it's really good, and don't let the fact that it's got tobacco in it turn any of the younger guys off from wearing this. If you're in middle school, if you're in high school, you can absolutely take advantage of this. You will get compliments, and it's $20, $25. Why not go ahead and pick it up? Now this next fragrance is going to be your summertime scent, and this used to be my signature scent for the summer. It is from the house of Bulgari. This is Bulgari Aqua Marine, and Jeremy Fragrance actually introduced me to this back when he actually did fragrance reviews as opposed to just talking about sex all the time. But this one is really crisp, and it just makes you feel like you're at the beach. If you've ever been on a boat and gotten spray in your face, you know, some of that sea mist, that is exactly what this smells like. It's got grapefruit, neroli, some aquatic notes, some seaweed, and some amber in here. Now it lasts for about 6 hours, but this is great for the daytime, great when the temperature's over 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Man, it just really, really makes you feel like you're on summer vacation, and I think this is a great purchase. This is probably the most expensive on this entire list, though, at about $63. So be ready to pay for this one, but you're not going to regret it. I'll tell you that one. And then finally, we're going to have our Easy Reach Blue fragrance. This is affordable at $30 from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo. This is Aqua Essential Blue. I have to say, of all of the fragrances I own, this may be one of the best quality fragrances for the price, because I like this one better than Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum myself. It's got lemon, lavender, cedar, some sandalwood, some tonka bean, and benzoin. Benzoin is kind of like a mix between amber and vanilla. There's a sweetness in there, but it's also got like this powdery facet that adds a little bit of professionalism and maturity. You're going to get 8 hours with this. It is going to project, and you are definitely going to be pulling some compliments. It's not restricted by seasons. It is not restricted by occasions, age groups. You can wear it day, night, whenever. This is such a great fragrance. Be sure you pick this one up, and total, all 3 of these fragrances are about $115. Holy shit, that video was so long, but we made it, guys. I'm glad you stuck with me to the end. Listen, collecting fragrances and having a little collection of your own is fantastic, and it is so much fun. It can be pretty costly depending on how deep you want to get into it, but there's no reason to go broke when you're starting off. There's no reason to get complicated with the notes and the scent profiles. Get things that smell good. Get things that you can use in this season, that season, for this occasion, that occasion. You will be so well-rounded, it will blow your mind. I hope everybody has a great day. Please like and subscribe. Find me on my other social media channels. I would love to see you there. Take care, and we'll see you next time.